did he mention? So a bit about me, just to give you a brief background. What's important is you, but ultimately, I had a career. I've been a fortunate career at Apple. I worked also at Atari, and I worked at AT&T, and I launched DirecTV Now. Majority of those were in project management and or product management and marketing capacities. I've been a full stack developer for the past 10 years. From Georgia Institute of Technology is where I got my formal education in development. Having been around technology for about 25 years, I learned most of it by being self-taught, which is just as good as a degree in many cases or a certificate. I've got my MBA from UNC Charlotte. And when I was at UNC Charlotte, as an example, that's where I had an internship with Apple, and Apple hired me after I graduated with my MBA. My Bachelor of Science degree is in Industrial Management from Clemson University, and there's a couple links here if you'd like to connect with me after the event on a one-on-one course or just to see my profile. So it all starts with wanting to be in this space, right? You want to be a full stack developer. You want to be in this group at this table, where you're developing apps, you're doing mobile apps, or you're doing web apps. And that desire is what probably got you to this point of wanting that as part of your career. You can't just pull up a chair at the table, although you should. I would recommend, by the way, always say hi to people, always meet and greet, use your personality. Your code skills will always show through, but don't ever be shy to ask people, hey, what are you working on? And then more importantly, hey, can I help you in some capacity? It's better to take an interest in two people than to try and get two people to listen to you. So the first thing you want to start with is your story. You really want to think through, what is the story I want to tell? I just told you a little of my story, which was fortunate, included some, unique A companies, Apple, Atari, AT&T. I guess I still have to get to Amazon and Alphabet, but that's part of my story. It's just one piece of my story. So your story is built around your GitHub. It's built around your resume. It's built around your LinkedIn profile. There are several other good sites out there that you should be aware of and regularly be posting to and be active and a part of. But again, it all comes down to the story you want to tell, because the story is not only going to tell what you want to make sure that you fit in appropriately with the right culture and fit for what you want to do with technology. So again, sitting at that table, if you backed up a slide, that's pretty cool. That looks like a fun place to work every day, if that were an environment. There are also environments where you are in a shop and there are cubes around you and it is 9 to 5, pulling from the backlog and just doing things. So you want to make sure you find the right type of style and opportunity for you. So tell a story that tells a little about your personality and will get you to that same type of culture. I think that's the key, number one. Second key is going to be, as you go through that process, is you're going to have to apply to jobs. And you may do that formally, you may do that informally. Formally might be along the lines of, we're looking at a page right here, which is LinkedIn, if you've been on LinkedIn before. I'm a fortunate guy too. I'm LinkedIn member 10,220, I think. I knew one of the early folks at LinkedIn, and they invited me to join back in, I think it was 2003, maybe 2004. I found it an interesting site at the time for networking, predominantly networking. Now it's got a whole nother engine to it. But again, once you go through this process, this is an application. Much of this application tells a little of your story. It tells a lot of your experience. And usually it's very format and programmatic, right? There are tools out there behind the scenes called ATSs, applicant tracking systems. And those are the engines, if you will, that sit behind the scenes and try to filter out who is the right candidate for the position and not, based maybe on some AI, may just be a person looking at it. You really don't know. So again, this is a formal environment for applying to jobs. I'd encourage you also to go to Facebook and look at groups, look at the LinkedIn groups, Find other communities and meetups, because I think that's the way you might find something that fits best with your personality. Because this is typically going to be more of a corporate structure of applying, waiting to hear back, and then going through a process. Ultimately, what you want is your phone to ring. You want your phone to ring. And that could also be analogous to emails coming in, LinkedIn messages. There's a messaging app in LinkedIn. So you want your phone to ring. So you want to create demand. The story you have, your experience, your tech profiles, if you have any, examples of sites you've worked on, and the work you've done are all important for telling your story and driving demand. You are a product in many ways, and you're a brand in every way. And you want to make sure your brand gets represented the best so you have the most opportunities. Best feeling in the world is having options. There's no doubt in my mind that is a superior feeling to having no options. So create options, create demand, tell your story, focus on applying to jobs and positions, practice interviewing. I can help you with a lot of those techniques, as well as the storytelling. And you want your phone to ring, if you will. And you want the right type of people to contact you. Your phone may ring and it may not be the right people too. So make sure you hone that down. What it all boils down to are your hard skills. This is what an employer is going to look at. Your hard skills. What are your coding skills? What do you know? Reality is they want to know that you know enough. In many cases, they don't need you to know much more than that because they're going to mold you in their environment and their tool set. Many are looking for innovators. Many are looking for people to do sort of the 9-to-5 work. There's both aspects of full stack development that fall into hard skills. So know what kind of skills you're looking for and what kind of skills you have, but your coding skills are going to be, that's the first thing they're going to look at, no doubt. The second are going to be your soft skills. Many people talk about it. It's hard to articulate, but you want to have exceptional communication skills. Coding, as you know, full stack development in particular, is not about sitting and coding on your own. It's very collaborative, a lot of paired programming, talking to the business owners and or your scrum master or whomever's in your team to get information to build an exceptional app, whatever that may be. So communication skills, showcase your communication skills throughout the process. Ultimately, you need to have sales and marketing skills. We all have them. We've had them since we've been born, by the way. When you went goo goo gaga or dada or you cried, those were marketing and sales skills. You wanted something and you didn't have the ability to say it. As an adult in a profession, you have the marketing and sales skills that you need. Some people are fearful of public communication, public speaking, and other things. The reality is, I can help you and you should be able to help yourself with your marketing and sales skills. And you got to know when to finish the conversation. So that's a little bit, I just wanted to walk everybody through what a full stack developer is at some level and how to get a job as a full stack developer. That's what everybody wants from the skills. You don't just want to learn them so you have a hobby. You want to learn them so you have an opportunity, so you have a career and you have more opportunities. Full stack developers are in high demand right now. You would be surprised, though, how particular many companies are when you go through that interviewing process, because it's not as easy as even in a sub 1% industry of unemployment, there is still a lot of hurdles to get that job that you want, most importantly. So Diddy, that's